Green screen's still wonky, but whatever. Of course, because I clicked on that screen. All that stuff. Is it just me or is the... the clouds look like they're upscaled. But the actual, like, horizon looks pixelated. It is a little disconcerting that the clouds look like fairly high resolution. Anyway, well, that's foreboding. I think all the other towns have. It is part 13. This is the Queen's Palace at the center of the Magic Kingdom of Zeal, which says the center of this is the center of the universe. The surface of energy lies deep below the sea. Once its exact location was determined, we began constructing the Ocean Palace there. Suppose the Ocean Palace is in Her Majesty's Alligator Chamber. Mind you, it hasn't been completed yet. Wandering prophet is amazing. Every prophecy to escape his lips has come to pass. It's as though he already knows the events to come. Unnerving, is it not? Oh, with strange clothes, you must be travelers from afar. Yeah, okay. Do you like plants, traveler? Sure. Oh, I love them too. But the queen ordered me to burn this tiny sapling I received from the Guru of Life. He said it was a special tree with powers to restore the earth. Well, what shall I do? Guard it in secret. You're right. Queen's orders, none they may be, it only do to burn a gift from the Guru of Life. Very well then. I'll care for it somewhere safe and secret. Some day it may just help someone else who loves the earth and trees. Could you scratch my... Oh, itchy. Could you scratch my back? Sure. Oh, wonderful. Oh, oh, right there. You got it. Ah. Oh, thank you. Discover the new scratching spot. Huh. The Queen's Council, Lord Dalton, was in charge of the Ocean Palace constructed and a wandering puppet arrived and took over. Lord Dalton's in a foul mood these days. You must avoid him if you can. The completion of the Ocean Palace will secure everlasting glory for the Kingdom of Zeal. You no more feel sad, it's only eternal peace. We will take you to the bedchambers. You must endure a great deal of pain and sorrow in silence. Words requires eternal equal sacrifice. Much must have been given to Lao's zeal to attain the glory it now knows. If I remember correctly, let's just go away from this music. It's really foreboding. Scratch, scratch! Oh! Scratch, scratch! Whew! Scratch, scratch! Hee Got a magic capsule. I still don't know how to get up there. There might be something in the guide. Okay, so there's no mention of what's up there. But there is a secret thing here. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the guide. And there you go. Hey, unidentifiable object. A UI UIO. But inside is a black gemstone. Not sure what that does. It all began eons ago when man's ancestors stumbled upon a shard of strange red rock. Its power was beyond human comprehension. It cultivated dreams and gave birth to love and hate. Only time will tell how it ends. Hmm. Hmm. Go to the opposite side of that wall. Okay. That's interesting. That basically hastes us. It's just the person whose speed is already high, and the character whose speed is low. Hmm. That's interesting and kind of clever. It doesn't even say in the guide about it. See, there's being missing in the guide. You can't buy the equipment upgrades yet. There's platinum armor. How about you get a positive for like pacing here? Please seem to well, Charlotte and Lord Janice get along so well. Only Lord Janet would open up to others. Okay, so don't have any books here. At least none that I've seen yet. The man appeared only recently, but he earned the Queen's trust quickly with his certainly accurately predictions. His origins are a mystery. He's not one of the enlightened ones, but nor is he an earthbound one. From where could such a man have come? Were you aware that Balthazar, for good reason, maintains secret chambers in Hassa and Qajar? You must speak to the Order of Gurus if you wish to learn of the man machine and the Ocean Palace. But just between you and I, not place much faith in any answers Her Majesty gave you right now. She's been different as of late. The Queen's Council, we already got this one. Um, Could this be like information or um interaction? I'd probably say maybe both. Basically for pacing. Like on, we need to break it down really because I'd probably say it's more. It probably has more to do with interaction, to be honest. We could give it information as well, but my thinking is that basically we've kind of had a nonstop um, series of dungeons. Basically, we go to um, basically had Megas' Lair, which is kind of the fake final dungeon of sorts. Um, then we go to we're kicked back to 6 billion BC, or however long ago it actually was. Oh yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned it. I I think I may have mentioned my solution, my suggestion, if we're going to like remake the game, basically hypothetically. Um, what I would do is I would probably just um, at least within the actual game itself, there would be no indicator of exactly when you are. So we wouldn't have dates within the interface. There'd be like no your save would say so 65 million BC would just be prehistory or prehistoric era or something like that. It would just be considered prehistory. When in prehistory, ambiguous. It could be millions of years, it could be thousands of years, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands. I probably lean somewhere between tens of thousands to probably 100,000 max. Um, in terms of the actual lore, so to speak, of Chrono Trigger. Um, because, again, as I mentioned in the last installment, millions of years, let alone tens of millions of years, is like that's almost like that is an insane amount of time. Enough to get a negative for what Lorena calls Doctor Who syndrome. I could also call it the 10,000 years syndrome. That's kind of the more recent meme he's invoked is 10,000 years, which is Breath of the Wild basically. Um, my own fan theory of of the previous version of Calamity Ganon being fought 10,000 years ago is that is actually referring to the events of Skyward Sword and not to any other event. Um, or, well, heck, it's not even that. It may be the events preceding Skyward Sword, the backstory of Skyward Sword. Um, the original battle with Demise, basically. And the idea is that after 10,000 years and the cycle of reincarnation happening over and over again, um, Ganon has become, and Demise have basically become synonymous with each other. So, therefore, that battle is considered to be a battle with Calamity Ganon. Even though the entity was known as Demise at the time. Um, that just makes the timeline a little bit neater without a tremendous gap in the middle of it. Um, still is a freaking huge. It was a freaking huge timeline, but still, um, it's better than like there being over 10,000 years between the last Zelda game on the timeline and then Breath of the Wild. Like, anyway, um, there's like Skyrim that kind of does it, like not to this extent, but like the 200 years, there isn't a whole lot of like really technological advancement. Like they have mills, I guess, that may or may not have existed before. Um, Time gap between Oblivion and Skyrim is more there to is less there for the sake of anything besides just wanting to distance the story from the repercussions of Oblivion. What was I even talking about? Yeah, the 10 million years. What are you starting to talk about? Oh yeah, pacing. So we had we had Vegas Castle. Then we basically hop straight into Tirana Lair. After the attack on us, obviously. Um, so we have like two major dungeons, two major boss battles, a number of minor boss battles and minor dungeons as well, just straight in a row. Like little bits of story in between, but mainly it's just dungeon, 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 dungeon. So having this section now where we're just exploring, we're in the Kingdom of Zeal and we're just exploring and learning about it, and there's a lot of story stuff going on, and no dungeons whatsoever at this point, anyway. Um, yeah, it's it's good. Um, I say it's interaction primarily because it's a change of the type of interaction we're doing, but it's also information because we're gathering information. It's very well presented information. Um, we've already talked about foreshadowing, but there is a lot of good world building here. So I'm probably gonna give it a positive for interaction, which would mainly focus on just the pacing, but information because it's a well presented change of pace as well. I don't like any information positive just for. I also give like maybe start to give a positive for just the way that they're actually like building the backstory of Lavos' arrival and immediately following it with the repercussions of what he's done, basically, and how he's it has altered the world. Um, and to some extent, even just overall, the fact that it is a very well constructed time travel story. Because time stories that involve time travel or particularly extensive amounts of time travel can be confusing. And Chrono Trigger is a fairly well constructed story. You know, I'm not sure if we should make a judgment call at this point, but like it has been so far, and I know from having played it before that it will continue to be a well constructed time travel story. Um, so I mean, I think we're far enough into it that I can just call. Um, I mean, a feat in itself, but also and I think what kind of pushes it over the edge is probably is this kind of to some extent because it is like I said, it is kind of a direct continuation of what we just saw. We saw Lamos arrive. Now we're heading into another period where he's been here a while for millions of years, simultaneously advancing and holding back. Um, uh, the human evolution. Um, yeah. Also, just going back to my critique. Um, and what I would do. So, like, this already is considered antiquity. So, 65 million BC would just be prehistory or prehistoric era or whatever you want to call it. 1,000 would be the present. Um, 600 um, would be like Middle Ages or whatever the heck they were calling it. Um, they just have the name, and there can be references to what year it is, particularly in you know the BC eras, effectively. Um, I mean, how do we even know what time period we're in, technically speaking? How do we know that this is 12,000 BC? Besides the game just telling us that in the interface. Um, how do we know that we're 65 million years in the past? Um, I guess if I were even like if I were developing this and like doing like interviews or something, I probably would even mention that like basically part of one I probably would even mention that like the prehistoric era is actually not that far back in time as it was indicated in the original game. We're kind of retconning that, and because it is kind of ridiculous. So it's more like tens or hundreds of thousands, a couple, one to a couple 100,000 years before antiquity. And I'm sticking behind that negative because even though it is kind of a pet peeve, it is a significant thing. And for certain people who actually like think about these things, like me and lore, um, it is kind of a big deal. Like humankind has existed for tens of millions of years, and we're still on Earth. We haven't become spacefaring. We've made lots of progress in magic, which is fair enough, but like, and I suppose something that in my head kind of 65 million BC is not actually 65 million BC. It is actually like probably somewhere in the realm of tens of thousands of years before where we are now. And I mean, it does seem kind of fair for a game involving time travel to have Doctor Who syndrome. And yeah, obviously, um, like 1200 or 23 or whatever the heck it is. The future would be called the future or apocalypse or whatever. Um, I suppose 1999 would probably be called the apocalypse. So we just have apocalypse and then post-apocalypse. Anyway, I ramble on enough. I want to be the wind, Masa. Oh, you will someday, if you try hard enough. Our big sister Doreen went to Anasa again. Yeah, she likes to dream. I like to win better than dreams. Whoosh! I wonder how the Guru of Life is doing. What are we supposed to do without him? Humans, I tell ya. This way leads to the Queen's audience chamber. Listen to me. The Earth is alive and always has been. She changes slowly, so never see it. From flatlands into mountains, from mountains into seas. A way may send they open even to the Forbidden Shrine in the north, or to the Sun Temple, but it could take untold years. I mean, the only thing that makes sense about the uh, about 65 million years is geologic time and how much the actual world map changes between time periods. Even so, I don't think it changes that much between prehistory and 12,000. Oh, I'll have to really look at the maps. Even Bilbasar, design the Blackbird of the Ocean Palace, has vanished. How strange that the free gurus that guided zeal to his present glory have all disappeared at once. He said that Jasper, the Guru of Time, continues his work at some deserted island. He strikes to make a time egg, or some such nonsense, but no one has seen him for years. This way leads to the Mammoth Machine Chamber. Yeah, we'll wait on that. We'll start on the right and work our way left. Shala! Oh, Janet, she returned. Is something wrong? The black winds. You feel the foreboding too. Don't worry, it will be all right. Here, keep this close. What is it? It's an amulet telling my prayers. If something should happen, it will keep you safe. I wish that I could remain with you always, but Mother has other plans. That's not our mother! She looks like her, but she's not the same inside. Even still, forgive me, Janice. Pardon, Johannes. The Queen requests your immediate presence at the Ocean Palace. Very well. Well done, Janice. I must be on my way. Oh, who might you be? Forgive me, my lady, but we must hurry. If we're late, I fear I'll be, well, you know the Queen. Of course, my apologies. Go away. Don't waste your time. I thought her only likes me. Back to the foreboding music. Lady Charlotte's pill was made from the same redstone as the memory machine. When she prays to the device, panic grows with unearthly light. Wait, okay, that's um. Professor is clouded with hatred and sorrow. If he does not free himself of these emotions, he'll destroy himself and those he loves along with him. Following lives of man in the machine chamber, you can feel the core's energy lava surging from it. Yeah. I thought as much. Can you feel the flow of mighty lava's power? Oh, it brings tears to my eyes. This is the fun of Zeal's power of the memory machine. It magnifies the limitless power of lavas. Dang it. Could you please just be consistently coming out of both of my ears? Come on. Well, I didn't even notice it. There's like lots of details that I'm like just now noticing. Like these weird skull things. I mean, who does that? And like, who designs this and like is not like, oh, I'm totally not evil. I just like weird skull-shaped things. The amendment machine is moved to the Ocean Palace, restricting even more energy from lavas. The dream of eternal life will be made possible. Oh, Almighty Queen, our kingdom will reign for all eternity. Of course, we know that's not true. Now the machine was finished, the Queen became a different person almost overnight, a much colder one. Between us, I heard that any who oppose Her Majesty, not just the earthbound ones, vanished and they're never heard from again. Oh, so she's... You know who. Mercury, the girl of life, opposed the Queen's plans to disappear shortly thereafter. It pays me to consider some conspiracy baby at work, but it is terribly suspicious. The three girls constructed the memory machine from a rich stone that had been kept in the royal treasury for generations. The girl of life, Melchior, was in charge of the plans and conducted a great deal of research on the nature of lavas, but now, well, I'm sure you know the rest. Operating the memory machine requires magic powerful enough to regulate the energy the machine extracts. Except for the Gurus, Nishal was the only one with such power. And I think I stand behind my positive for just the quality of the exposition and Mary said that she had business at the Ocean Palace. None might pass until her return. Her pennant, it looks identical to Lady Charlotte's. Heard that when Lady Charlotte communes with a memory machine, her pennant glows a strange light. Door can be opened from the outside. Say the magic of magic key like Lady Charlotte's pennant. It looks identical to Lady Charlotte's. Okay, it's exactly the same. Strange, why not move? There must be something different about the pennant. Hmm. Oh, Randy said she has business at the Ocean Palace. Never may pass until her return. None shall pass. But we can't actually go and. Badada, 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 badada. Okay. -2 interaction because we have no way of leaving. And it's kinda dumb? Like, how does this make any sense? Her Majesty said she has business at the Ocean Palace. None may pass, none may leave this location until she returns. Huh? I know she's crazy, but you gotta come up with a better reason than that. I'm not sure if I consider this to be interaction negative to some extent because we're locked here. Like, we have no ability to go out and explore and and do all the things. Now, there's a reason for that because we can actually go and unlock all of these chests and doors and things in various places to gain powerful items. Spoilers. Which is why I was thinking, like, let's, like, I know as having played this game before that you can do that now. So I went to go do that, and there's this guy who won't let us leave. Now the thing is, I feel like this might be leaning more toward like there's intentional design here because you're kind of not meant to get like it's obvious, at least in hindsight, knowing what I know, that you're not meant to have those items yet. So because of that, they're like, okay, we gotta prevent the player from leaving. And they're like, well, how do we do that? Let's have these guards. And let's say, well, because the queen is off doing something, she will let people leave. And she's crazy, so. So. She's just a kind of paranoid entity who wouldn't let people leave her palace when she's not present. Right? Like, huh? Again, huh? What? Like, she's just gonna hold everyone in her palace prisoner until she returned? Like, why? Like, I don't see any logic or even paranoia logic. Like I don't even see the crazy logic because even craziness has a certain logic to it, twisted as it may be. There is a line of thought that leads to. I can see maybe how why she would want new visitors coming in, but not allowing people to leave either. Now, granted, I can't really think of another reason why you couldn't leave because from the game design, you shouldn't be able to leave because you can do all these things that you're not meant to do yet. So, how do you construct a narrative wherein the player cannot leave? What's a better excuse or a better logic that can be used to explain why you're not allowed to leave? I seriously can't come up with anything else. Like, I can't think of a better reason, at least off the top of my head. And even after giving it some thought, I'm usually kind of good at these things. Also, can we line this up? I think I kind of lined it up. There we go. At least on the bottom half, it's lined up. On the top half, it's not quite lined up. It's not evenly lined up. It's really lined up like in the bottom, like it's lined up over here. Clearly, like the degree of scaling isn't quite, you know, isn't quite right. Um, you get the top part lined up. Again, it doesn't really. Negative to interaction for an ability to line things up. That's more to me because they didn't like scale things exactly to. Let me go into Photoshop and make sure that this background can line up exactly with the game at the resolution scale too. Um, yeah, I can't think of a better reason. So I'm not sure if it's kind of minor in a way because I can see the design behind it. Like I can see the designer hand behind it. It's like, oh yeah, they can now like open all those chests with the powerful items. Wait, they're not meant to have this item yet. Like the items are a little bit too powerful for this point in the game. I know. Let's just lock them out or lock them in. So the only way they can go is to progress the story. You're a genius. What reason will we come up with? The queen is off at the Ocean Palace and we'll let people leave while she's not in her palace. That dialogue just keeps going, doesn't it? I don't know if I give it a positive to the fact that you can just start dialogue and walk around while the dialogue is taking place. I should probably say player initiated. It's nice when it's longer and you didn't necessarily even mean it to happen. You just wanted to see like, if they had different dialogue than they had before. No door can bar the way of scientific progress! Hey, let go! Don't be scared, Chrono! Hey, is that Lady Solace pendant? Negative information for repetitive dialogue. Wait a minute, she is in the Ocean Palace. Who are you? How did you get in here? Your Majesty, these are the bringers of disaster who... Your Majesty, these are the bringers of disaster of whom I spoke. Indeed, they and the Gyros are like, how dare you outsiders attempt to oppose me? Fools one and all! Dalton, seize them! Yes, Your Majesty, with pleasure. Golem! Wish there was a save before this. This is also an impossible battle. Well, it's meant to be impossible. You can actually beat it. I'm not sure if I'm going to. Like, I already know it is possible to beat the Golem. I did it on my first try. Um, in my Butcher playthrough 5 years ago. Um, so I can go with positive. I can't illustrate the positive, but I can. Um, that'd be two and I think it is. If I ever type this up, well, there'll be spell check. Um, I can't remember what you get for actually defeating the golem. Um, yeah, it just says use magic to protect against it, huh? Technically, we can technically we can unseal a bunch of things. It is tricky, but I believe we could do this just after all the other stuff. Um, the back of the strategy guide says keeping track of time is mirrored because I mirror my video just because I'm looking at myself, so it just feels more natural to you know see a mirrored version of myself. So when I want to kind of point to something, even though it doesn't actually like work really. Like, okay, this is the dialect box. I'm not gonna be like doing this. Like, oh wait, no, that's the wrong hand. Also, I think the main thing is just my outline because I'm looking at my big screen. Um, my primary monitor it allows me to actually see the chat because it's up here. Um, I can more easily see the chat because it's literally like I'm seeing what you guys are saying basically. So, um, if it weren't mirrored, I'd be looking the wrong way. It wouldn't feel as natural. So mirrored. Um, yeah, the back of the guide says keeping track of time has never been so tough. I mean, it's a well-designed narrative, as I already have credited. So, anyway. Mwahaha! Fear not, I will not kill you. Not immediately, that is. I'll allow you to sample every type of pain and fear imaginable first. By the way, by the time we're through, you'll be begging for us to end your suffering. Oh, what a delicious diversion! Idiot! What will you do, Shala? Let's help them. I don't think it'll be of any use, and you'll be in trouble if you let them escape. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine. They just might be able to rescue Melchior. Are you alright? Quickly, we must flee the palace. And if you can, please free the hero of life. He was sent to the Mountain of Woe for opposing my mother's plan. Please, you must help him. I'm afraid I cannot allow that. Your meddling tires me. It seems I'll need to put an end to you here. No, you mustn't. Don't! Very well. I'll spare their lives, but in return you'll cooperate with me, Shala. Now show me how it is you came here. So you came through here. Now, Charlotte, once I throw them in, you will seal the portal shut. No, you can't make me! You will obey me. Their lives are at stake. Very well. Please forgive me. How could you just have easily killed us? They take Lobo's power. Lobos get weak? Wait, the crest on that sealed door. We've seen it somewhere, haven't we? Hero's crest is engraved here. A mysterious force seals it shut. We find our way back to this area yet. Let's get cracking, Chrono. Oh, sorry. Here. I can't remember. We'll see. If I remember correctly. I think we have options here. Whoa, we're stuck at. Oh no, we're gonna die! We're just gonna avoid all encounters, as we normally do anyway. Because the golem wasted us, so we were at 1 health. Okay. What? Okay, I need to potentially, this could be super negative if we, um, no. Okay. So if I recall correctly, there, there's a few things about this chess. Um, it's, the most obvious aspect is that if you open it in the past, it's going to be empty in the future. So, if you want to maximize it, obviously you want to open the chest in the future, get the item from there, then go back in time, get it again. Now, you can do this, but there's a weird added niggle that is, as far as I'm aware, it's entirely walkthrough based. You can only learn this through the strategy guide, which is that if you visit chests in the past, examine them, but not open them, it will empower the items inside so that when you travel to the future, the item is a step better than it would normally be. So you go back to the past, go to each of the chests, examine them, but don't not open them. Aside from a few things like the speed tab, for whatever reason, I reloaded because I'm pretty sure we still need to open the version of it from the future first. That could be a negative. I think the concept still deserves a positive because it is um a little multifaceted. Um it could potentially have a positive and a negative. Yeah, upgrading the items. Like, it's a cool concept. It's just I don't believe there's any hint to the fact that um you can upgrade them. Like, that aspect is completely unmentioned aside from the chest is reacting to the pendant. Like, what does that mean? There's no indication that it's doing anything to the item. Like, the whole idea that you could get two of them by going to the future, then back to the past, is in makes sense. But the fact that you had to go to the past to make the pendant work its magic to empower the item and grab it in the future is something that you either um, you can only learn through a walkthrough or through experimentation. I can't remember all the. I believe there's a chest in the castle somewhere. A victory is owed to you. You served us victory by I cooked the meal. Speaking of cooking, I'm mind to prepare A victory feast, something truly spectacular to celebrate the Fiend Lord's defeat. I don't know what words of gratitude could possibly suffice for all you've done. Frog, where is Frog? We need... You're alive! We've sustained incredible casualties, but thanks to you, a battle is won. Now we must all work together to rebuild. If there's any way to getting back repair you, it's up to you. I shall see it done. Hint hint for later. Frog! So you ate Chrono and the others. You've done a fine service to this kingdom. Please remain here for as long as you wish. We will be honored by your presence. Your kind words are reward enough, Your Majesty. My heart is glad to hear them. If War ever does a theater for this, I think the main character I want to voice is Frog. I just have to see if I can convince him to let me give Frog the Sean Connery accent. If they broke through a Zealand bridge, the castle would be no more than rubble. I'm just gonna leave my headphones off. For now. I could be consulting the maps. It still kind of weirds me out that the Queen's room is on the opposite side of... Like, there's I Love Lucy, and then there's Chrono Trigger. Oh, here we go. No. It does say the item inside is reacting to the pendant. It didn't say the chest is reacting to the pendant. It says the item inside is reacting to the pendant. It's just you would not get this information if you just went with the plan of go to the future, grab the item, go to the past, grab the item again. If that was your plan, then you'll never even see the notification about the item. I mean, maybe you would get something about the item inside reacting to the pendant. It's still a guessing game. I'm not sure if we can get inside the castle at this point in the future. I think we might be able to. That's weird. Interesting pathfinding there, Frog. I don't know if there's anything else here. Well, there's this. Can we actually do that whole side quest right now? That'd be interesting. Oh, here we go. There's the Elder's House, which has 2. Is everything in that we have currently access to. I don't believe we have any way of getting to my husband Marco is finally home from the war. Oh, I'm so relieved. Worry not, my love. We won't be parted again. Monsters in the desert cave fear water. They seem vulnerable to it. But the greatest of them, water or no, I could not hope to slay that beast on my own. I think we might have our first major side quest at this point. Maybe. Although this would be another implication of us having the ability to change time. We serve certain other events. I don't think we can actually change time in this case, so this is like really. Oh, okay, we gotta get. Got water too. Oh, come on. Really? My god, I had to freaking. No! 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 I was gonna potion! Go to hell! Game is on! Negatives for freaking. I mean, not required to be here. We probably are. We're kind of going. Huh? Oh, she has a freaking status element. Damn it. Really? Uh, that was bad luck back there. Because we faced like similar encounters before. We just. Really? No! Reverse! Reverse! Reverse course! I think we're on the verge of death again. Oh my god. The future refused to change. Maybe we should return after we get the upgraded items. I don't know if that's gonna help a whole lot. Or we could do it when we're meant to do it. There's one freaking encounter that we always have to deal with. Oh, that's interesting. Is that ever cleared up? I mean, there is that mysterious chest there. It's Nadia. Hey, you worry, Princess. I understand your feelings, of course. The king places his realm above all else. It's the same even when your monster, but the queen, Eliza, passed away. What? Oh, child, please forget I spoke. Tell me! It's difficult to speak of even now. See, clearly Eliza's condition had been frail for some time, but it took a sudden turn for the worse near the end. You just really wanted to see your father just one last time. But your father refused, said he could not leave his work unattended. He left you young, innocent, and knowing nothing of death to watch over her alone. Naturally, the end was not long in the coming, and she died soon after. One night when the king... One might well say the king killed her. Such a shame. Father killed her? Please, I speak too much. Do not let it trouble you, your highness. As you finally return, won't you go see the king? I believe it's... this tower? No, it's not. Might actually be... Oh. Oh, Nadia! What have you come here for? I thought you had no use for this place. Why would you look at me like that? You're the one who stormed out of here. And then there's hoodlums in here. Are you by the cause some sort of trouble? How can you say things like that? These are my friends. Friends? You're done the line of Claudia. Consulting that are like it's a disgrace to the family name. It's true then. You really do care more about the kingdom than you ever cared of me or mother. What? You killed my mother! Huh. Do not show your face here again. Don't worry, I won't! Do as you please, you're not my daughter. Oh no, your King's Quest 6 is showing, Chancellor. Oh dear. Just for that, we'll steal your shit. Yeah, you just get it. Red Vest upgrade, obtained red plate. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything that defends against, Grace is deeply troubled by Princess Nadia. However, they can just take advice about family matters. In the close of Liz, Princess Nadia became his Grace's entire world. What have you come here for? You have no business in this place. A high ether. A lot of the other chests you can open in here are, like, not kind of in it. I mean, it makes sense it would be restocked after all this time. Here's all the instructors. I'm in charge of discipline. Of course the knight is in charge of discipline. This latest incident is all my fault. I should have been more strict. Oh, I'm in charge of the person's physical fitness. I'm the personal tutor in charge of her highness's education. Mega Elixir. What about my wife? The old lady runs the kitchen. The guy treads softly around here. She knows how to cook a goose better than anyone. He's also got a temper to cook your goose. She's running the family. Who gave you permission to come in here? Out with you! There's a Royal Players evening celebration underway. Chief Cook's ancestor served in the war against the Fiend Lord served food. I mean, as a wise man once said, you can't wage war on an empty stomach. It is locked. Huh. There's no mysterious source seeing that shut. What are you doing here? Do you want to be put on trial again? I'm here. Royal Legal Counsel. The king has been terribly distraught since the princess ran off. It took some time, but I was able to convince him that no kidnapping took place. Chancellor, on the other hand, he was acting quite strangely. We were just discussing that now. He had all the guards who man the prison towers. It may have been purposely trying to influence His Grace's judgment in the courtroom. Prison guards were an odd bunch. Even we would get cold stares from time to time. In those eyes, it's like they weren't even human. Right around the time he ordered that dragon tank to be built, that was when the Chancellor started to act differently. You guys have anything else to say? The prison tower has been forbidden by the orders of His Grace. Here awaits you downstairs. I wonder if they purposely built that to keep us from, What? Seriously? You want to die that badly? Well, I need to actually call it a night soon. I think we'll just gather the rest of the items. There you go. I believe we've... Blue vest upgrade. Obtain blue plate. Yes. Hey, look, it's a defensive gear for my favorite daughter. This is a complete desert. And more mountains have been raised up, I guess? Where there used to be a town? Kinda interesting. It's been arranged a little differently, but... Black plate upgrade. Obtain black plate. Obtain white plate. I guess we can still go there. There's a portal. Er, look at that jerky. Isn't there a tavern? Oh, this is the tavern. Okay. Oh, the customer of good taste. Here you go. Hundreds of the women named Fiona died trying to revive a great forest that was forest in the north. It's a sad tale. Shows that the humans take a piano player, for instance. So we can manipulate time at this point. So the idea that like the epoch is what enabled us to change, to alter history is. I think we could also do Fiona's Forest at this point, potentially. No, 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 no. We. Huh. That's weird. Is the gate to the forest not a thing anymore? That's odd. Why would that be cut off to us? Like seriously, how would that? How is? Why is that cut off to us? Anyway, it's past midnight, so I should probably try to freaking hear the. Is it even functioning? There we go. So I'm going to give another interaction positive for the, at the very least, a kind of a net positive between, so I think that's a cutoff. So there's a lot of interaction positives. Let's see, I think we didn't get any negatives this time, despite being part 13. We did die a couple times, so that was fun. Um, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more positives, which brings us up to 53, I think. Yeah, that sounds right. Interaction. Duration, we have, I think, 2 positives. For the down period, basically. Story moments and world building. Um, let's have the golem fight being, effectively actually surmountable, even though it's not meant to be surmounted. Um, that's going back to interaction positives, but it still is leaning very heavily on the interaction front. Yeah, we're about to call it a night. But yeah, in case you're new, I scored the game based on interaction information. Let's see. I got. Do I still have the app for projector? So I can like read the chat more clearly. Um. Oh, you're looking at the what the Japanese version had. Something inside reacted to the pendant and began glowing. So the Japanese version is a little. I'm also kind of curious as to the original translation. So you go. No, you don't have to do that. Um, the I forget the name of the original translator. He had like a, I think a nickname. It does feel this again. It was a little more. I'm not gonna give it a negative because it's more positive than negative because it's a cool mechanic, and it does give you a little bit of a hint. But you do have to go to the past first, which is if you are actually thinking of it from a standpoint of the original North American release was heavily censored. I'm not gonna say it was that heavily. Like I think it's a you know um I think the big one is obviously the alcohol stuff. I think it's like the main thing that was censored. I think that Ayla's pansexuality was a little toned down, as well if I recall correctly. I've already given a positive for localization, and the improved localization. I'm actually not as upset by Frog's lack of a of like a old English way of speaking. I can still give him a Sean Connery accent, so and it still works. So I'm happy. Anyway, there's a bunch of things you can do that'll take a few seconds of your time, as well as other things that are a bit more involved. But of course, it's all entirely up to you. And as always, I thank you very much for watching and for your research into translation stuff. Um, yeah. Until next time, sayonara.